It's Friday.
Yay.
Nate, I miss
What's
your
up?
face.
I miss you guys. Been
I
too
miss
long.
your face. That fucking beautiful face of yours.
And
Man,
I
you
even
are
shaved
in
my head
rare
for this.
form.
I see that. That's amazing. You know, you're looking pretty fly for a white guy over there. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
I try. I try, but this white guy can't jump though.
Oh no. Oh no. Anywho, and April's over there. She's about to do some stuff.
Yeah,
Exciting. We have to
I've
be careful
recently.
tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we're on Twitch. So we don't want to get kicked off Twitch. And though that we don't do this to get monetized, understand that we never do this live to get monetized in any way, shape, or form. But we still don't want to get on that list where they tell you that you'll never be monetized, like I got on Instagram. So I already got that email from Instagram. You will never be monetized. That's
Oh, I
cool.
thought that was YouTube.
I got that from YouTube too. They don't fucking like me.
There ain't no money.
Ain't no money going on over there.
Oh,
Anyway, we're going to be talking about all kinds of fun stuff tonight. I'm very, very excited. We have all kinds of news going, and I just can't wait. And there's Shawnee.
there's Shiny.
Shawnee. We love Shawnee to pieces. We miss her face too. Um, so you can actually see her face a lot over there on Tom's show that he does. You get to see Shawnee. Don't think you have to go without because you can find Shawnee's face. And Nate has his own shows. Don't think you have to miss out on Nate either. You can scroll over there and find him. Make sure you
Shiny.
guys follow these guys, man. I got a lot of love for these two. Make sure you follow them and pay attention to the stuff they've got going on. They're always doing neat stuff or talking to cool people. Make sure you guys, get in there and chase them around a little bit. So like I was just saying, Shawnee, we're gonna catch up. We're gonna do a little bit of catch up with folks tonight. Tell people what's going on. Talk about my fucking kitchen for a couple minutes. And all kinds of other shenanigans.
Look, if you could have destroyed it yourself, you would feel a lot better about it.
I probably would feel so much better about it. We're also going to talk about the fun thing that's now living in my crawl space.
Hey, we're on Twitch.
Yeah, I didn't say my shame cave. I said my crawl space. Okay.
Yeah, hello.
All right. So, and anywho, so cool things going on right this second. We have my metal girl.
Ooh.
And it is so pretty. Like words don't describe how pretty the book came out. Like it really did. And I got to tell you guys a small thing that I realized about this book the other day. And you guys know me pretty well, but there are certain things you still don't know, and you learn as time goes. So my metal girl, we all know it's about a young dude that is a mechanic and he builds metal girls and stuff like that. There's still a lot of the story we haven't leaked out or anything. So, but he gets it from his grandfather, like the itch to get involved in this. Well, what you don't know is my grandfather died like 6 years ago. And it happens, folks. People's grandpas die, and it sucks, but it happens. My grandfather died like 6 years ago, and he was a big influence on me. Okay, so I'm writing this book, and I like to write a lot. Those of you that know me know that I really do enjoy getting down, and so I was putting this book together, and normally all my books come with emotion. There's feeling in all the books that we put out. Even like Cretaceous, has got its own little, feels story side and stuff to it. But anyway, so I'm writing this book, and at the end of the first issue of My Metal Girl, I happen to name off the top of my head the college at the end of the book where they're going to do their first Metal Girl tournament at is Hayden School of Robotics. And that was my grandfather's last name, and I hadn't even thought about it. So my mother who gets all her books first because she's mom.
Mhm.
You know, she happens to live on the same acreage that I do. She comes over and she's bawling her eyes out reading My Metal Girl, and I'm going, "Why are you upset?" You know, it's such
There's
a
no crying in My Metal Girl.
right. It's such a fun book. Why are you upset? And she just goes on to talk about my grandfather and stuff for like an hour, and
Oh.
how it's so cool to be to pay tribute to him. And I had not even realized that I'd done it while I was writing it. It wasn't
Subconscious. Your subconscious just went.
right. It wasn't like my plan to lay it out like that, you know. But I will say this: every single cover of My Metal Girl came out gorgeous. Like
That's one of the ones I got. I'm so excited.
they came out so good. And not only did My Metal Girl come in, I'll say this: I think we had. It was upwards of 1,900 books that came in the other day. Like, and I hate freight delivery. You ask April, I hate you. Well, you guys know I hate freight delivery so much because it all depends on who's bringing it, right? It really does depend on who's delivering it.
Yep.
We don't allow DHL to deliver no more because they're fucking trash. Okay, so preface that story by the fact that, you know, we had the dude stick the forks all the way through like 4 or 5 boxes of books. It was so bad.
I still have nightmares about the pictures you showed.
Anyway,
Man,
so
that was great comedy for like 2 weeks.
for you, I sat in my
I was gonna
drive
say,
for like half an hour.
yeah, April got mileage out of it. Justin, not so much.
I didn't know that I was going to be able to crawl out of my driveway when that went down.
Part of your crawl space.
Oh my God, we'll get to that in a minute.
All right.
Anyway, but Frog Legs, the rest of Frog Legs arrived along with My Metal Girl. And let me tell you, I love the book. I love the book so much. Like, getting it in hand was such a relief to me because, again, I move into different realms. You guys know I try different things, as we all should, and you know have to do to grow. But I had never written a love story before, you know, and My Metal Girl is very much a love story as well. But you have to remember, I wrote Frog Legs before I wrote My Metal Girl, so Frog Legs was a book that I really had to delve deep into and get into and put myself together with that book for a little bit. Like, I was working on that book long before anybody started peeping on it, you know. So, but I got all the covers in hand, right? And now, mind you, half the Frog Legs books went out a month and a half ago, something like that. You know, it was just the second wave of the books that came in that I need to get out. But I had not seen any of the Envue covers in hand. And I'm going to tell you what, don't sleep on that cover because that's the most, it is badass. Like, it really is badass. It screams like Black Snake Moan, like all day long. Like, it really does. It screams gritty and just gnarly. And I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. And then we got everybody's the most ordered cover for Frog Legs was the Jake T cover, which I don't know. I like it. It's a lot of fun. We moved more of that book than any other. Another thing, right before we started shipping Frog Legs last month, we were also shipping Babes Born Dinosaurs 4. Trade paperbacks, and the trade paperback orders will go out in the next 2 weeks. They're supposed to be here in the next 4 to 5 days. So I'm very excited about those. That book had the most medals we've ever ordered in it.
Very cool.
That was so cool.
International.
I was blown away. I mean, like I'm like going through stuff, looking at how much I spent on each different thing. I think that
Careful,
book-
that's a rabbit hole you don't always want to go down.
Oh my God. Stay
What
out
was
of
that?
one. Leave that one alone. Just leave that one alone. Anyway, it was the most sold metal series for metals that we've ever done. So that was really cool. We appreciate you guys on that. We have 3 new store exclusives dropping in the next month. So make sure you guys keep your eyes out for those. And we'll be, promoting the stores and stuff when those start coming in so we can show them off a little bit. Mind you, I don't have store exclusives. We do them for folks, but I don't sell their store exclusives. The only place you can get them is at the store directly.
Makes sense. Yep.
And they're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. I can't wait.
Those who can't get to the stores are a little screwed, but
You can get them on their websites. They are on their websites.
There we go.
So I will promote their websites and stuff like that. So you guys can check them out. I know that there are completionists and we love them to pieces. So we make sure that they're available. That being said, thanks to Mighty Nathan down there, all of Babes, Gore, and Dinosaurs issue 1, with the exception of cover A, has been removed from the website. Okay. I will not be printing any more of those books with the exception of cover A. Now, to be fair, I had only reprinted a couple. We don't reprint anything that's exclusive or numbered. So we had a few of my own personal books that we were putting out on the website recently. I don't have any more. Like, I have none. Except for the fought books that I won't put out there.
Yep.
So I still have and those tend to go to friends and family, stuff like that. So I have a very limited amount of those. But that's about it from Babes, Gore, and Dinosaurs issue 1. I will print the cover A's though if they're ordered. Happy to print them. But that's about all when it comes to Babes, Gore, and Dinosaurs issue 1. We are taking the listener off of the website as well, except for the trade paperback.
I already did.
Right on. So Nate's already done that. So we all love the listener. And we should be receiving issue 5 within the next month and a half as well.
Nice.
Very excited to get that. For those of you that don't know, and those of you that are waiting for issue 5, we did have an artist fall off and have to have an entire new team come in and work on that book, but it still was completed, and you will still receive your books, and we're very excited about that. I saw the proofs. The digitals have gone out.
Yep.
And
I got my digital. Yep.
They look great. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy about it. The next issue that you see in the listener will probably be another trade paperback.
Okay.
I think that's how we're going to end up releasing that book in the future. So I'm excited. We'll see how it goes. We're supposed to start receiving Fallen Leaves issue 2 next month. The end of the month, probably, more than likely. So I'm really hyped about that as well. And everybody's asking when they're getting Theater 7 issue 2. Supposed to be the end of June.
Yay, Penny.
Yeah.
That's right. More penny. Yay.
More penny. Speaking of June, so we all know we're going to Phoenix next month.
Yep.
April and I will be at Phoenix. Jessup will be there with us, and so will Sammy. And there will be other artists that are poking their heads around that live in the area that are on Team Ethereal, and we love them. We can't wait to see them. So if you want to bring Ethereal books to get them signed, we do them for free, and so does everybody else on the team. So and then bring some books. We're happy to sign them.
I did some major. I really tried. I was like looking at it. I'm like, I really want to go, and I'm like, dang it! I can afford the tickets, and I can afford to get there. I just can't afford to stay there. So I was like,
Shawnee. So
it's all right. It's good.
Talk to me about these things when you want to do them.
Well,
Because
How big is the bed? You can share the
Yeah,
other
dude,
half.
that's what I was about to get to. That's what I was getting.
Girl.
Donnie, if you would like to go to Phoenix, I have a room booked for all weekend from Thursday through Sunday for April and the Ethereal Girls. If you would like to go and bunk with them over the weekend.
April, then how about I will message you and Dustin after
Yep.
the show,
You
and
guys
we
are
can
welcome.
talk. We can talk details and see if we can work it out. So,
Yeah, dude, it's up to you.
thank you. That would be amazing.
That kind of stuff is always available to you guys.
Okay.
What's going on, Peter? How's it going, brother?
I might get to go. I'm so excited.
You gotta go when you can go.
That's exactly
Exactly.
right. That's exactly right. And Nate always has rooms too. So if anybody ever needs to, we try to do our best to take care of everybody that we can.
We need us some ethereal cover boys. Do
Right.
hair flips.
Whoop,
That's
whoop.
I'm gonna buy Nate all different wigs to wear and stuff so he can flip them around.
I'm about that.
Gotta get a hair
Some
flip going.
Joker. We need some Joker cash so I can be
Yeah.
like the Joker in like the original Batman movie from
Yep.
top of the table and just making it rain. Be great.
Right. Exactly. I'm about
I
that
am
life.
really stoked about that idea. Can we make that happen?
Well, we
No,
can
I'm
talk
good.
about a
I'll
lot
do
of
it.
things. We can talk about a lot of things.
All right.
So I do have some other interesting news before I get into letting you guys just have your way with the show as usual. So I have a couple little things. They're really not little things, but they're pretty cool. So we just talked about My Metal Girl coming to us. We've got it here. It's coming out to y'all. That's the first round. We should get a second round of that probably the end of beginning, if not middle of June. We should receive another round of My Metal Girl, which is the foils and the metals. They tend to come later than the other pieces. Anyway, because I try to get everything out as fast as you guys as I possibly can get it. So I'm like, go, 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 go. Give me what you can when you can. But the covers have started showing up for issue 2. And sweet baby Jesus.
Wow.
They not just
Mm-hmm.
amazing. And this particular cover is going to have multiple different variants, as he always does. We love him for it. We had some cool ideas that he's going to work on, and I can't wait. So that'll be in the next couple weeks. Within the next couple weeks, actually, we'll start seeing My Metal Girl 2 pre-orders go live. So another thing that we have under our cap, and there we go. We have it under our cap right now. And we're being really careful because we're on Twitch tonight. So,
Yeah, dumb.
Anyway, so we've been talking to you guys about the Red Label, and we've been working our butts off behind the scenes on the Red Label.
It's barely in my give a damn window, so you more than me.
Right. We've been working on it, and it's been something that we've invested man hours in, funds in. It's about to pop off here shortly. April's give a damn window is about 3 months. That's about the give a damn window. So just so everybody's aware as we're going forward this conversation, that's where the give a damn window is. Anyway, I wrote a story. Hey Maurice, how's it going, man? I wrote a story and I gave it to my good buddy Dan Wickle, called Crimson Sails. And he opened my idea up and he wrote the issue, and the first issue, the second issue he's working on now. But it's going to be beautiful. And, I can't wait for you guys to see it. But it's very, very exciting. Art Voyager is doing all of the interior work for it. And we introduced you guys to him a couple issues back. That was the first book. Oh, no, actually, technically, Fall Leaves 2, which you guys will be getting here shortly, in the additional pages on that. So you guys will get to see some of his work there. But it's beautiful. It is beyond.
Oh, it is. Wow.
And I, the
Holy
three of
shnikes, the
us,
details. Jeez.
Wait till you see the cover.
well, I can show him this one. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's beautiful.
He is very talented. You know, we're really glad that he's come on board with us. An amazing dude.
Oh God, well, that's colored.
Oh, it's gonna look insane. Like, it's
Oh, it
gonna
don't
look-
even need color. I like it the way it is. But
I know.
Mhm.
I want
I
to
know
Oh
buy
it's
yeah,
not-
the black, the details with just the black and white
Oh, yeah.
is stunning.
It's gonna be really, really good.
I mean, that
And-
reminds me of the old Ebass drawings you used to do with Witch.
yeah.
Back when.
Yep.
maybe, but I was thinking more David Finch.
Finch too,
There
yeah.
you go.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, Ebas is good for a lot of things. Don't get me wrong; this is definitely within
Thanks,
his
Peter.
wheelhouse. But this screams David Finch to me.
For sure.
I
can
don't
get
know
down with that.
why.
No,
It's not. It's not as busty as Ebos.
Well, there's that, but I mean, it has like, I don't know. It gives me very reminiscent vibes of like Aphrodite 9 kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Pirates.
what a great book.
I can 100% see that. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great book. What a great compliment to receive. Wow. So not only that, I mean, that being such a really, really beautiful book that the team is working on. I mean, I'll show you one more page that's done already. Because and the colorist we've got on that is just awesome as well. April, who's coloring that book again?
Hector Rubelar.
Rubelar, that's right.
Yep, we've seen him on some covers, like If It Hops 3, which is getting ready to go to print, and
Yep.
he's been on, oh gosh, probably a good handful
For
of
sure.
things. The If It Hops 3 one is my favorite that he's put together so far because
Yep.
of all of the neon colors and the masks.
So cool though.
But
It's
yeah.
so cool.
He's
Like-
he's been working with us off and on for a little while now, and it's really exciting to give him a chance to go like full 9 into interior work and see see what we're running with, you know.
It's that
Same
time.
thing with Sean Lee. We've got Sean
man.
Lee's been doing covers with us for a while, and we've got him taking Frog Legs out for a spin.
Oh my
And you'll
gosh.
see that
Ooh.
on the next Kickstarter coming up. Oh no, it's on.
No, that's
It's
live now.
That's live right now.
Mhm.
That's live right now. And his
Right
cover,
now.
his colors are absolutely gorgeous. Like gorgeous.
Yes.
He is a
So-
great fit for Elberty. Like a great fit for Elberty.
Mhm.
So speaking of other things that we've got irons in the pot right now, one thing about Ethereal is no matter how much is going on, we're still doing something else. There's always still something that we're all working our butts off on. And so My Metal Girl, again, we just showed you one of the covers, really, really excited. But Zai is also working on interiors already. He's like almost halfway through the book already. And I love the work that he's doing on My Metal Girl. I absolutely love it. I think it's super fun because he's got the background, the traditional background in manga. So he's bringing his different styles in. And I love how in a manga, you get these different different ways to do emotion and stuff. And the characters will look like super realistic 1 minute and overly cartoony the next. You know, it's a very fun, different way of putting a book together. And I was really, really, really happy with what we've seen so far. So
You know, you want to say mangaka or something.
he is a mangaka, though. Speaking of mangakas, though, don't we have another one now?
It's just a
We-
funny word.
We have Win as well, and April's so silly. So we have Win as well, and Win is doing a red label book called Kaiju Cuties, and we talked about that a little bit too. I am over the moon with Win's skill set. Like, I mean, he's just really killing the characters for that book. They
I
just
when I see this, I think of like the bleach design, right? Like the old style hand drawn
Yeah.
kind of bleach
Mhm.
tension kind of
Yeah.
look, right? And it's different than your standard manga look,
Right.
right? You know, the big faces, the big eyes. You know, this goes back to the more refined look.
Yeah.
So I like this kind as well.
I'm very excited about his stuff. I mean, he's turned in a lot of work recently for us, and it should be just a ton of fun. One other really cool thing to mention is, well, we got a couple actually. I've got a little list of things because I'll go on a harangue, so I have my little list I'm trying to get through.
Check.
Right.
Mhm.
Gabriel is smoking Fallen Leaves right now, guys. So
Exciting.
he knew how long that the last issue took to complete, and he wasn't playing with it this time. So he's literally, I think we're like 9 pages into that book already. Like, it's looking gorgeous.
We are 9 pages in. That is confirmed.
There you go. So 9 pages in. And most of these books that you're seeing,
And a cover.
and a cover. We've worked really hard this past year in learning how to work with the flow, how
Yep.
things occur and life happens and stuff goes on. Like I mentioned earlier, we still continue to work. Like, there is no stopping. We continue to work through everything that occurs. So
There's no stopping the theory.
no, there's no stopping the train. But if all these books I mentioned to you guys are almost halfway through completion already, and the campaigns haven't started for these books. So we're getting back to the way that we ran things when the brand started.
Right.
And that makes us all very, very excited, because now that everything is set in place, we have things set in place, like April just mentioned about Frog Legs. If we have a artist or something like that that doesn't can't move forward or has decided not to move forward, whatever, for their own personal reasons, the brand is at a point where we can shift direction and immediately have someone continue the work.
Pivot.
That's exactly right. Pivot.
Pivot with the hair flip.
Right. Pivot.
Yeah, yes.
I'll
So-
say this much though: if you get down to where I have to start drawing, you got some serious issues.
Yes. Yeah.
We hopefully won't have to do that.
It doesn't happen often, but in the 3.5 years that I've been making comics, it has happened like twice.
Yep.
We have also, I don't know how to word that for the first time. That doesn't happen too often. We have only had a couple team members that we've lost in like 4 years. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it doesn't happen very frequently. Our turnaround is really good. So most people are really happy all the time because we all work to make sure everybody's happy and productive and healthy within our organization. So that being said, just for those of you guys that are really excited about the Halloween crossover books, Bladen has just turned in his very last page.
Wow. Exciting.
And we are excited about that.
Yes.
So the last page is in, and I don't know if you guys remember or look at the previews for the first page of the second issue, but it literally picks up with Brian with this exact paneling for the next issue. So very, very happy about that and love to see how that was done. Now, Brian is finishing up issue 2 as well himself. Don't forget, we are using the same colorist through that entire trio of books. So, just bear with us because it's one dude, and that's one thing that we try to keep in Ethereal that we're very proud of. Like if you look at David Acampo covers multiple projects for us. He colors a lot of books because we're very proud of him and his skill set. So I don't rush people. If you're working on multiple books, I'm never like, hey, hurry up. That's not a thing. You know what I mean? Put your best foot forward and move on to the next project. No one wants a rushed product. So just do what you need to do, knock it out. Unlike me, who is over here rushing to get My Metal Girl out the door, so because the next campaign is the next campaign. The next My Metal Girl series our issue is the next campaign that goes live. So I'm over here flying around, also watching that beautiful, oh my gosh, beautiful Frog Legs issue 2 campaign. Wow. First glow in the dark cover from us. Very excited about that.
What?
Glow in the dark cover from a
Mhm.
is on Frog Legs right now.
Well,
I know.
technically, the first glow in the dark cover was mine.
Oh, well, see, which one was it? Talk to me.
Oh,
I don't
it
remember.
was Sarah's cover. I think I have one. I have one copy left, and it is in a stack of 2,000 books.
Oh, right on. I did not remember that we had another one.
Yeah. It was. There was, I think, only like 5 copies made, maybe 4.
Well, dang.
And let me see if I can send it
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, show it to me.
Because,
I want to share with people. That's gorgeous. I love it. Let's show it.
It'll be just a minute.
Take your time. Take your
yeah.
time. Anyway, so lots of fun stuff coming up. Super, super excited about everything going on. So, do you have anything, my lovely friends? I know that both of you just got some scripts. You also got some PDFs. Let me know your thoughts about things. We haven't talked in a few weeks. What's going on? What is going on? Before I talk to you about my crazy fucking kitchen, let me hear what you guys are thinking. What have you seen recently that you like? What have you what's going on?
Well,
What else,
Shotty? Well, I've been working like crazy, so I've been on a 60-hour work week, so I haven't been reading a whole lot of stuff. And then my weekends have been all volunteering. So I've been doing the, hey, go help build this and take care of this kind of thing for the last month or so. So I haven't read a whole lot of things, but what I did do is start working on my book. So I've been writing for a little bit. So I finally got my prologue to where I want it to be.
Yeah.
So that's coming your way to go take a look at.
Yeah. So excited.
So,
if you tell me it's about pro wrestling, I'm going to be like, let's go. Or if you tell me it's about little teeny action figure men that have like personalities, let's go. What do you got going on?
So I'll tell you just a little bit, and it's only a 1-page. I'm only going to give you 1 page so far. But it is, what happens if God said, I don't want to do this no more?
Oh,
all right.
I could. Oh man. Have you been hanging out with an old writer out in the woods? Is that a thing? Have you been hanging out with an old, that happened to write about a main character that might be a Sandman or anything? Have you been hanging out with that guy out?
No, it is not.
Drinking his fucking Kool-Aid out there and whatnot?
No, this is actually a different thing. It's a different take.
Okay. I believe that. I'm just curious if you're out there drinking Gaiman's Kool-Aid. That's all I'm saying.
No, I read. I mean, I'm a huge Sandman fan, right? And I'm a huge Preacher fan, but this was kind of different. It's like, it's like, okay, if God wanted to say, I want to take a vacation, right?
Right on.
But then he hands the reins over to somebody else.
Oh, man. You know what I was also a fan of there, Nate? I also like those Winchester boys now.
Oh, I do too. I love Supernatural, man.
Like them Winchester boys. So I'm picking up what you're putting down. I can definitely we'll check it out. Shawnee, have you read anything lately or seen anything cool or?
Just work has just been insane. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint, but yeah, no, it's been nuts around here.
I feel you. Well, I've been drawn into
not as nuts as you. I haven't, but
I have been drawn into the pit of insanity as well. So, oh my God, my kitchen. Fuck my kitchen. Something serious. So
you get fined.
I think you sent a little bit of the vibes this
No, I
way
don't
because
think
my
so.
fridge went out.
Man, so when the leak happened, we could step on the tile and the water would come out, like underneath the tile, right? Like you could see it. And it was absolutely insane. And then I was stressing, right? Like I was immediately stressing because I'm like, there's not supposed to be water coming up out from underneath the tile. Now, when we found out, like I'm slightly clumsy. Those of you that know me know that this is true, and it's like a gift from God. I am slightly clumsy, and I was cleaning our cutting board, which is a very large piece of wood. Love it to pieces, but again, it's very large. So I was washing the cutting board, and I happened to turn to catch Oz doing something, and the water flew all out on the floor from the cutting board. And I got it all up with a towel, and Heather came in the next day and was like, dude, why is there water still on the floor? And I was like, well, I thought I got it up. You know what I mean? And she goes, no. So the next day, she goes into the kitchen and steps on like the mat in front of the sink. And she
Squish.
feels it squishing all the way down into the floor. And she's like, so she lifts it up and she's got to throw the mat away. And she's like, I thought you got all this water up. And I was like, dude, there is no way the amount of water that got on the floor is like that
Not
intense.
much. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
But
was
it
like,
took a while to twig to it because of that. Yeah.
you know, it was like half a cup of water that got on the floor. Get out of here with this. So she tells me that she walked over on the tile in front of the dishwasher and water was bubbling up from underneath the tile. So
Yikes.
it's like a 10-foot row of tile that water is bubbling up on when you step on it. So then she goes into the theater, which is on the other side of the kitchen, and she's like, dude, it looks like there's water, like it looks wet on the baseboard over here. And I'm like, no shit. So needless to say, the dudes come out, they check the stuff, and they're like, hey, it's an itty bitty little leak. Itty bitty little leak. So I'm like, where's all this water comes to itty bitty little leak, right? Now the house is 21 years old. Just 21 years old. My parents were the ones that built it originally, and then when we bought it from them, we didn't think anything about the fact that you know what I mean. The roof's already been replaced. When we bought the house, we replaced the hot water heater. You know, there's, you know, we did some stuff when we came in. And anyway, so I was like, oh my god. So the people come in, another dude comes in because I'm like, there's no way that little leak has done this, and this. So the other guy comes in that's not from the insurance company, mind you. The first guy was. The guy that comes that's not from the company goes, holy crap. I just went under the crawl space and I could swim in the crawl space. And I was like, oh my God. And he's like, the sump pump under the house, for those of you that don't know, that don't have a crawl space, a sump pump pushes the water out that rain gets down under your house when you have a crawl space.
Yep.
So there's no telling where this leak has come from at this point in time, because he's also the leak detector guy and didn't want to tear my front yard up. You know, so now he's like, all right, so you replace the sump pump. Great. Love that. You have to pay cash for that stuff around here. Because in Tennessee, you know, them boys like to make the money, you know, and not tell Uncle Sam. So anyway, you pay that guy and he puts a new sump pump in. The next day, all the water's gone, right? Because it runs for however long it needs to run, because it detects the water on the ground.
Yep.
So it waits, and then, you know, it's just going to keep working until all the water's gone. Anyway, all the water goes away. Now they come and they tear up all the tile in my kitchen. And not only do they tear up all the tile in my kitchen, They tear up all the tile in the adjacent guest bathroom, and then they tear a corner of the carpet up in the theater, the baseboards, all kinds of stuff, right? And I'm just like, oh my God.
And they did it without even letting him tear any of that shit up too. It's just not fair.
It really was not fair. So then I had,
Didn't even get to demo your own house. Damn it, how rude.
I did that when I owned a comic shop. I demoed my comic shop.
Control over it.
But anyway, they had to come in and you guys know custom cabinets are expensive. They're not a thing that you want to do more than once in your life, I wouldn't think. Anyway, so, but they didn't tell anybody there was mold on the bottom of the cabinets. So it didn't get put on the stuff. You know what I mean?
Didn't get claimed. It didn't get
right. It wasn't.
Yep.
So we had to go back later and make sure that was added and all this other stuff. But there's these massive, like, slabs, these beautiful slabs that were, again, when you start talking custom stuff, you're like, you have to buy the giant slab to make your countertop, and then they cut your giant slab. Now, when they cut your giant slab, again, we're going to do some teaching because that's important around here. You have to use a water saw.
It's home improvement.
Right. You have to use a water saw to cut stuff like that. You can't just use a regular saw. The blade has to have water running on it. It's just like the whole sword thing back in the day. There was always water going on these objects when they were making these things. Anyway, so they have to do all that. It's a special blade. It's like a diamond, whatever, and all kinds of other crap. So they take this massive, amazing piece and put it outside against the side of my house because there's nowhere else to go. It's like, it's got to be 1,000 pounds, So they put it leaning up against the house. And everybody's terrified that the dog is going to get squished by it. And I'm going, the dog can't move that to push it over. He can't move it. It's not going anywhere. I don't give a shit if you brought we get tornadoes around here pretty frequently. If you get a tornado, it's still not moving that thing. I don't give a shit. It's not going nowhere. But it was all insane. I agree with that, Gus. I agree with that. Gus says what's not fair is not seeing the hot face behind those sexy hands. Off to catch his flight, so have fun. Later, Gus. Much love.
Oh, Gus.
Yes, April's Gus.
Yes.
So
anyway. Like these old things. He must be married.
Oh my God. So anyway, it was a real shit situation, and it didn't get anything but worse as it went. The backsplash got broken. It shouldn't have been broken. Other things that were whatever. The worst part about it is they bring in these giant industrial fans. Okay, they bring these fans, and these fans are so fucking loud that I was just ready to lose my gourd. Like, now, I'm not going to get into medical or anything like that, because whatever. Most of the folks that need to know, but it was very overwhelming for me. Like, it was incredibly overwhelming. And like, I already I sleep in a like different room in my house and stuff because of my medical issues. But anyway, I just could not even rest because these things were so loud. And they're driving the kids nuts. The kids can't sleep because it's so loud, and that went on for like 4 weeks. They just got rid of the fans the other day, which is great. I still don't have a kitchen sink. So, we've adapted to doing the dishes in the bathroom sink, not the guest bathroom that's right near the kitchen, but the master bath all the way down to the other end of the house.
That is incredibly convenient because while you're taking a bath, you can eat your Captain Crunch with your, Mountain Dew and just.
Who eats Captain Crunch? I still haven't got an answer for this question.
And you can eat it while you're bathing, and then just clean the bowl and
who drinks Mountain Dew?
Have to leave.
The only one that drinks Mountain Dew in this house is Heather because she likes the alcoholic Mountain Dew.
the hard do.
Good.
I'm not eating that cereal that tears the roof of your mouth all to shit. No, I'm
That's
not.
how the sugar gets there faster. Duh.
That's like butt chugging. I don't do any of that either.
I'm just saying, like,
You've been
you're
going
gonna
to
wind
too
up
many
having
keg
some
parties.
of that for Christmas or something. You're gonna be like, "Thank you."
We're gonna do
And
a
you're
butt
gonna love
chug
it.
keg party variant.
Huh?
The butt chug keg party variant.
We could make that happen. That'd be
We
a Christmas
totally could.
special.
I'm not saying we couldn't. And then we could do like a spot full to make it look like the liquid's going through the tube. I'm about it.
There you go.
Oh, God.
And guy, what title would that one go?
The roast beef sandwich.
Theater 7.
Oh my god. Ooh.
Yeah, would it?
Speaking, oh my god, I almost forgot. So speaking of Theater 7,
Okay, I was gonna say, what were we speaking of that reminded you, Dustin?
speaking of
yeah.
Theater 7, of the butt
Speaking of
chugging,
theater, okay.
goodness gracious. Nate brought up Theater 7. So speaking of Theater 7, I told you guys we're supposed to be starting to get it in June. Late June. Yes. Now, there's a very interesting thing going on with Theater 7 right now. Renzo, who we love Renzo, he finished up Morgana not long ago, and as soon as our good buddy David is done with the next issue of If It Hops, he's going to color Morgana, and we'll have that all out to you guys. But speaking of Renzo, he is currently doing early work on House of Laughs.
Ooh,
Very
okay.
excited about
Nothing to
that.
do
All
with
right.
Theater
Oh, yeah.
7.
Yes, it does. That's a spinoff for Theater 7, House of Laughs.
Oh,
Yes.
Absolutely.
April.
Even Penny, even has Penny in the first issue in it for like 8 pages.
Well, yeah, but you keep having Penny like go into like spin-off. Well, yeah. There it is. Okay.
Mm.
Click. Lights are on.
Somebody forgot the script, didn't she?
Anyway,
I haven't read anything.
April, I don't know that April has read an ethereal book in a while.
she's
Listen a minute.
she's intent on drawing the
Yeah,
pretty
she's
I
pictures.
did read Morgana though. I did read Morgana. I was very proud of that.
That's the one she read.
I was on
Anyway,
vacation on the beach. Well, actually, no, it was after hours. But I was reading, and it was good.
it is very good.
It is very good.
Mhm.
Anyway, so House of Laughs is a spinoff for Theater 7. It is the Red Label spinoff for Theater 7.
See, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
You're so good. It is the Red Label spinoff for Theater 7, and it features we introduce one of Penny's friends who actually gets caught up in her own adventure. And Penny will have to go and retrieve her from said adventure. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It is very, very dirty. Good Lord, is it dirty? It's a dirty book.
Dirty book.
But it was a ton of fun to write. Let me tell you, it was a ton of fun to write.
It's very naughty.
I'm scared of clowns, right? Like I'm not like I would let it like manhandle me or anything, but I just don't like them. We'll put it that way. So, it's not getting into the shame cave, okay? So don't laugh. But what I'm saying is this, it was wild for me to write a story about something that could actually be terrifying like that, and the end of that book scared the dirt out of me. Nate, don't mess with me. You've read that script.
I have.
Scared the dirt out of me. Shawnee read it too. She was like, "Oh boy." So anyway, it was a ton of fun to write, a ton of fun to put together. You'll start seeing Kelsey, who is the ethereal girl working on that book here shortly. She'll start showing her stuff off, literally and figuratively. So
yeah, you shared the script with me, and I feel like you watch scary movies. I was kind of like reading the script, kind of like this.
right. I was writing it kind of like that.
I had a field day with it. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It is super, super fun to work on, and I know that people are going to enjoy it.
They will. It definitely will have a very loyal audience, and then
For
people are
sure.
going to love it. So
I think so.
I don't think I'm one of them, but
Everybody's
I'm always happy to support any way I
That's it.
can.
I know you are. You know,
I'll
we
find
all
other ways
put
to support.
together. We all put together different things. You know what I mean? And we put together different books for different folks constantly because we never expect everyone to read.
Absolutely, yep. It's not my jam,
That's
but the work is amazing. The script is tight,
It is.
and I'm excited to see it come out because I know it is really going to be.
It's going to be pretty.
People are going to love it.
It's going to be pretty. I mean, with Renzo's artwork, and like I said, you
Yep.
guys saw Morgana and how really detailed his artwork is.
Mhm.
I can't wait for you guys to see what he does with this. I know he's jonesing for it. Like he's been chomping at the bit for me to, say go on this for a little bit now.
Exactly.
But we still have to figure out before that happens who we're going to have color it, and all kinds of other stuff. Like I said, it's very early.
Oh, logistics.
It is. That is it. It's very, very early in development. I think people are going to really enjoy it. But I think that it's also one of those things where if, the red
It's on
label,
Nate's wish list.
Mm-hmm.
the red label itself is something I want people to recognize that we're very gentle with how we approach things in the blue label, even like if it involves, fornication or anything like that, i.e. fuckery. We're very gentle about how we portray it. The red label has no such gloves on it.
Yeah, the filters are.
Yeah, there are none. There are zero filters with the red label, and I'm okay with that. All the artists are super excited about that. They're excited to be able to play around in the way that they've, we've let them kind of recently, do some stuff. But there is it's just very, very different. So we're excited to be able to do that.
It's interesting because I think the blue label, like you said, it is the blue label for the most part is for a mature audience.
Absolutely.
But that more is just for general content and sometimes the violence and things like that. It's not so much for the sex,
right?
Or the fuckery. So red label has both.
Yeah.
So the red label is for it's a no holds, all hands, no holds barred.
Yeah. Oh my
Have
God.
fun with it. Exactly. So
I like the heaps of the fuckery. I'm a big fan. So
yeah.
But like there are things like we've talked about with the blue label that there was a point where April and I were just like, we're going to make it just a magenta logo altogether.
Mulberry.
The mulberry.
Mulberry.
I couldn't think of the color. I could not save my life.
What's funny is that it slips into all of these covers and he doesn't even know. It's glorious. It's the magical cover. Or the magical color.
They're all beautiful. All the covers come out. Mulberry, magenta, whatever. Funky green, whatever you want to put in there.
Funky Cole Medina.
Right, exactly. But there is a point in all these books where we go, did we already cross the line? I like to joke about the first issue of Babes Born Dinosaurs, where we had the whole eating an individual thing. I like to joke about that a lot because people bring that scene up more than almost any other in anything I've ever written.
It's the most controversial shock factor that you'd had since ever. So
yeah,
right. So it gets brought up in conversation. If we're at shows and stuff, that always comes up. Someone always asks.
Is this the book with the?
Yeah. Is this the issue that happened? Yeah, that's it. Let me get that one. You bet. But no, it's one of those things where, if you have your copy of Frog Legs, and you've read Frog Legs, there's a really promiscuous scene in Frog Legs.
It's a little racy. Yep.
And I was very proud of the way it came out. I still am very proud of the way it came out. But it was a scene that may or may not be for everyone. just like Greed. Greed is everybody thinks it's a child's book because the main character is a child.
No.
It's really not. Like, it's really by far not. I'd never let my children read that book. And
Only if you want to give your kids nightmares.
Right.
Honestly.
I got the same reaction when we put out when we did pre-orders for There Be Shadows, which actually almost has all its line work done, so I'm very excited.
Ooh, yay.
I love that book so much. Like, so much. Like, the story is I don't call favorites very often in my own storytelling, but when I sit down with that one, I can't put it down. Like, I'm in it to win it every time I sit down with that book. And like it'll be the next morning before I come out of my office, if I sit down and work on that book. But it also has a child for a main character. So again, everybody assumes that the book is a child's book. I promise you.
For Greed and that one, you need to like little warning labels about it. It says, it's only if you feel little Timmy doesn't have enough therapy sessions in his life. I need to pay.
That's it. That's it.
No, we just need to like have that as like a huge sign at the entire booth.
We do. We need to have a booth wide. Even the listener.
Want to get your child into therapy? Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, even the listener is pretty tough. You know what I mean? I just, because it's themes and stuff. There's not always nudity. There's themes. There's, the things that go down. I mean,
there's mature themes that go through.
Oh my gosh. The listener is steeped in alcoholism. It's steeped in unhealthy tradition. How people were treated. There's a lot of stuff in the books that we put out. I have let my daughter read The Listener. I'll give you that. My daughter's 13 years old. She has read The Listener. But she has read The Listener because a lot of the stories that were told in it were told by points of view from her family members. So she has read that, and she really has enjoyed it.
She has enough context to be able to balance it out.
Absolutely. Let me tell you, when I spoke at my daughter's high school last year to the graduating class, what it would be like when they were curious about as a profession. How do you get into writing? How do you get into comics and stuff? It was one of those things where they were all like, can we read your books? And I was just like, I will put a packet together for you. If you're interested, as long as you're over 18, I will make you a packet. And because some of those kids are graduating at 16 years old, you know what I mean? They don't need to read the content that we're putting out. But at 16, if you're graduating, you have the mentality to handle most things. So, but, your parents need to be the ones to make that decision. Now, we're at the Red Label, they wouldn't receive any of them. So, but, again, There Be Shadows is something so wickedly fun about There Be Shadows. Like, it really is. Different takes on every... when I owned a shop, I owned a shop for 3 years, and it was around the time right before, well, it'd been a couple years since. Like 2016, I opened. 2010, I had got back into comics real hard, collecting comics and stuff. And it had been a few years since I'd done that because I hadn't had the time. But anyway, there was a point where Zenescope was huge. It was huge. And not only was Zenescope huge, Aspen was huge. Image was still huge back then, but it was Top Cow. There was a lot of companies that were doing these, the quote unquote pretty lady books. And that was about the time that I started getting into Bud Root's work and met Bud Root, a bunch of stuff like that. And Devin Massey's work, hell, a bunch of our team, Dan Kemp's work, But there was this situation where I realized as I'm putting these books together that all of these companies, Big Dog Inc. at the time, I was a big fan. You asked Tom. One of my favorite books is Ursa Minor. It's still one of my favorite books, and conceptually the whole nine. because I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. I used to, write for White Wolf and stuff. I really enjoy that type of content. But you don't see me do werewolf books because it's like, I feel like it's everybody and their mothers.
Overdone.
Same thing with vampires, anything like that. You might see a werewolf or see a vampire in a book we do, but it's never.
But it's not centric to. It's
never. But it's
supporting cast.
Absolutely. So, but it was very interesting when I started seeing all that stuff and realizing all these cats did variations on the princesses. They all did variations on stories that we'd seen and whatever else. And I was like, you know what? There are a lot of characters in the public domain that could really use a tune-up, And everybody's like, oh, no, because you can't beat this version that came out and you can't beat that version. Who you haven't let me try yet.
Exactly. You got to try.
Oh, my beer.
No, dude. I when I started putting together There Be Shadows, and writing about, Davy and his story and stuff like that, it was like, oh my God, I can I can write my own scary Harry Potter, but it's not magic centric like that. It's just that kind of epic, if you will, but it's been a ton of fun. And I'll say this as someone who has been religious the majority of their life and been able to find it on their own and not been forced into it later, forced into it early, and then kind of did my own thing. But I find there is a story that you guys are going to get with There Be Shadows that is scarier than anything else I've ever written. And that's including Wrath, because I feel like Wrath is terrifying. He's terrifying to me. But
Wrath is some scary shit,
right? And it is the scariest thing I've ever put pen to paper with, and involving Wendy, and involving Pan, and involving how the fairies are made, and. It has just been a extensive amount of storytelling. I cannot wait to get Donnie's hands on it. You guys are going to have to wait a little while though, because he's working on that Halloween issue as soon as he's done. For those of you that don't, as soon as he's done with the Halloween crossover, he's jumping on to that's what he's jumping on after that. But he's got to jump on the Halloween crossover first, issue 3. For those of you that don't know, he took a little bit of time off from art for just a little bit because he was doing a big project. He was doing these amazing paintings for a show that he was doing. And
very cool.
It was just awesome. It was awesome. That's why I stress people should follow us on Facebook and our social medias, because we keep everybody up to date with every campaign, what the artists are doing, how things are going. Because when they ask, I get asked questions about campaigns, and I'm like, well, I put it in the update. We didn't see it. Cool, I understand that. Those things get lost in emails all the time. If you would follow us, I mean, you don't have to comment, you don't have to anything, but follow us, and you can, or at least like the pages, or like my stuff, so you can find what you want to know, or hell, just follow the website. Nate's all over that beast like white on rice. Follow the website. He's about to start doing news. He's about to start doing convention stuff. He's got all kinds of crazy cool ideas. The guy is full of fucking cool shit. So he's gonna make it happen. But again, if you don't know, you know what I mean, it's hard, to keep up with everything going on, because there's always so much. There's always so much going on. But anyway, I think that people are going to find that the whole deal with Wendy is probably one of the darkest corners that I've delved into for character development. So buckle up, Buttercup, because it's gonna be a wild ride. Because
there's fuckery to spread.
Oh my gosh, there's fuckery to be had in every direction. And you think these covers and stuff we've done recently are pretty wild. You wait, there's some stuff coming. Man,
I'm
oh,
very
yeah,
excited
speaking
for
of-
the covers I picked for There Be Shadows.
oh my God.
Get them
They're
in my
so good.
museum.
Got them in my hand, little man. I'm so excited about them. If you guys didn't see April's special zoomed in BGE cover recently, holy wows. Like wows. She's over there talking about roast beef. She could have done an anatomy session
Now look,
on
I
that
didn't
thing.
draw that. I did not draw that, but I sure as hell colored it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
That
all
was-
like, well, okie dokie.
That was drawn by the
Okie dokie,
incredible
exactly.
Mr. Hair. So I
Yeah,
cannot
that
wait for
was-
him to. We'll probably see him shortly. It probably won't be long until you guys see another cover from that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh man, we got some good ones coming, dude. Jesus, H-Batman. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. You know,
Well, anything's more exciting than that kitchen.
man, fuck that kitchen.
Or DHL rolling up on your doorstep.
Fuck that kitchen nonsense. That shit's so frustrating, man. It really is. That shit's mad frustrating.
Weeks of entertainment. Oh my god.
No, it's not. You know what? You have.
You found a
two-
Doritos bag in your
Oh my
wall.
god, there was a Doritos bag in the wall. A fucking bag of Doritos, nacho cheese Doritos, in the wall.
Well, the question is, was it opened already, or was it just thrown in?
Oh, we don't even want to talk about that. Because when the house was built, mind you, there was nothing here when the house was built. It was like dirt everywhere that I could fucking see. And now it's booming like crazy. It's wild to see so many houses and stuff and everything going on. Because I remember it being nothing, you know. But anyway, so when you move out to the middle of nowhere, you get rodents are out in the middle of nowhere. You know, you get mice. They're just your field mice and stuff. You know, it's not like you're getting rats. So you get your field mice and stuff when you first start moving into places out in the middle of nowhere. Anyway, and like when they're working on houses, let me tell you, half the time the doors are open, half the time the doors are unlocked. You know, when they're building your new homes and whatnot. Anyway, so I remember we were here and you'd see mice every blue moon in the house until they started putting traps out and until they started clearing the land. You know what I mean? You were getting mice. And I remember even when we bought the house, there were we had gone to Walmart and we bought like a desk or something for my daughter, like the box desks that you can throw together in 30 minutes, you know. And so she was happy with it. She was excited. She needed a desk, you know. Anyway, so we take it upstairs and we open the box and out flies a mouse out of the box, right? And the cat is there like a fucking catcher. And she's just like, oh yeah, meals on wheels, bitches. And catches the mouse and proceeds to run off with it. And we never saw that mouse again. Anywho, the bag of Doritos was in fact empty, and the bag looked like it had been riddled, but it was so old, dude, so old. It was just like I didn't even
bots.
Yeah, well, that's how you know you're starting to get, you know,
Success. You get bots.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You get the bots when somebody sees you and is paying attention. Anyway, so it was completely riddled, but you could tell how old it was because it was like layers and layers of dust. You know, like years of dust on this bag of Doritos that had not been
antique. It was antique Doritos.
Oh my gosh, it was wild. It was.
Did you sign it and put it up on
Vintage.
eBay?
I should have.
You should have. A vintage bag.
Speaking of eBay,
There's only one of a kind signed by Dustin.
Oh Lord, speaking of eBay.
Ethereal has a couple sellers that are official sellers. We have a couple. We don't have a lot. We have a couple official sellers. We have a bunch of stores that we're in. We're in 17 stores around the globe right now. but we have a
Nice.
couple official sellers and we have an official website. Okay. Hit up the sellers of ours first, please, or hit up the stores that we're in, or hit us up, because I had a guy reach out to me the other night that purchased a book. He was very happy with it and wanted to buy the others. Didn't know that we existed, didn't know the website existed, whatever. But he spent $65 plus shipping on a book you can get on the website for $14.99. So please make sure. Again, we're getting larger, but there's still plenty of people that don't know we exist. So make sure that, if you happen to see a friend that's talking about grabbing an ethereal book, guide them in the right direction so they don't get shanghaied. I really don't think it's fair for, good on the seller for making that much money. Good on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But me, I always feel for the buyer. I really do. I always try to keep the prices low. We could quote less than Jake on that. You know what I mean? We always try to keep the prices low for records and the fucking shows.
Yep.
So if you want to, get cover price, make sure you hit somebody up. What's going on, Mr. Wilson?
Oh, crap. It's tough.
I just
Steph.
I just bagged like 20 copies of My Metal Girl from them just like 2 nights ago. So much. He's here for shoddy time.
Oh, I'm leaving your group then.
Anyway, so yeah, make sure, or and the artists are like the Wilsons as well. If you can't get it directly from the horse's mouth, reach out to other team members. They'll hook you up. I just don't want anybody getting run off, for prices on a book that you shouldn't have to pay that. Yeah. If you want to pay that money, you can, come get a couple books from us. Don't that kind of money.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're gonna let you guys get out of here in a minute. It's been a long day, but we're very excited to start doing, doing the live shows again. I know that we're, I call him Big Ol', you know what I mean? Because he's big ol' awesome. He's big ol' lots of good things.
And I'm fat and I'm tall.
You're tall.
He is tall. He is tall. But anyway,
you're huggable.
So he is huggable.
Ooh, I like that.
So anyway, we're gonna be moving stuff
I can speak
around
from experience. I got to hug him.
Yeah, me too. It was a good one. He's
Looking forward to Cowtown. I'm gonna get one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, Cowtown is gonna be so dope.
They just announced today they're gonna have a cosplay contest too. So Justin, I'm gonna have some fun there.
Oh yeah, well it's gonna be 3 of the ethereal girls will be there for that, and if Morgan is able, I'm sure Morgan will be there for that.
Oh, I hope Morgan comes out. I've never got to meet her in person.
So there's a lot going on. I know that man, look, there's so much fucking going on around here, and normally I try to do a lot of it downstairs so I can be around my family. But I have no fucking
crawl space.
do anything. So yes, it looks like
a
comic grenade went off behind you.
It does. It looks exactly like that, and it makes me sad. But I am happy because it has to do with lots of work, and lots of work is a good thing. So
yes, I like seeing all the grenade, all the lined up.
I think there's like
that means
40 copies of My Metal Girl on the table right now that are just that are signed, that are drying right now. But no, there's a lot, and then there's books. The boxes are out over there on the table because I'm putting together the inventory for tomorrow's show, because we've got that show tomorrow in Murfreesboro. So it's only like 5 hours, but it's going to be a fun little thing. I've yet to do a show in my own town, so
that'll be fun.
Yeah, it should be an absolute blast. That's a little grenade joke for you guys.
And just to go back, did you say that you were working on some of the comps for some of the Kickstarters to go out? I think which ones was that?
Well, they're it depends on who the artist is. You know what I mean?
I was thinking Steph.
Yeah.
So
Steph just got BGD. Steph will get My Metal Girl and Frog Legs next.
Cool.
But like I said, make sure if you're reaching out, You
I
know,
knew I knew they were. I think they were in the process of being put together. And
Yeah, well, that's orders. If you're looking to buy books from the artists themselves, they get the books when everybody else do. You know what I mean? Like, if I've got
oh my
30
God, Steph knows me so well. It's true. I do. I want to. I want to get behind you, and I want to organize.
You didn't see nothing.
That's called organized chaos from my house.
It is insane back there right now. Like, there's just
I'm itching to start like putting things together and organizing.
There's a lot going on.
I
You should
have
have
a
seen
tad bit
the
of OCD when it
aftermath
comes
of
to that.
the aftermath of the pink peanut explosion. That was it was
Well, that was funny.
everywhere.
Yes.
I need to. When I can afford one of those, I'll get one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what they run
I have to
anymore.
speak of experience because when I was behind the scenes with him at the show there, and I was literally behind there, I'm like literally reorganizing stuff and putting things together. And Carrie's looking at me going, "What are you doing?" I'm all, "It's bugging me."
Yeah, the OCD is going off for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. What if it makes you happy, honey? You go for it. Do it. Thank you.
All you need to do is fly with Spirit, and half of that is just gonna be gone.
Off
Oh God! You hush. No.
That's where the 3-wheel luggage thing came from. It came from Spirit.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah. So
Order of your woes is all
Steph's
gone.
next order from us, if you guys are Steph Wilson buyer from hers, that'll be like on the 15th from me. So he'll probably get those around the 20th. Man, table mate. I bet Shawnee'd be a fun table mate. She'd be a fun one. So speaking of that, like I said, Phoenix is coming up. We've got Cowtown in October, Hawaii in November, Washington.
That'll be fun. Yep.
In December at Old Dirty Expo. So we're excited about that.
I thought you said Virginia.
Yeah, Washington.
Washington. Shit. Okay. My bad.
Washington's in Virginia.
Is
Washington,
it?
D.C.? Okay.
Yeah. Washington is in
Virginia. Washington, D.C.
Yep.
Well, because there's a state called Washington.
Yes.
Too.
You're not going to catch my ass going way the hell up there, though. That's not ever going to be a
You would
thing.
if you got a table at Emerald City. Duh.
Is that in Washington?
That's in Washington.
Seattle.
Yeah. Seattle.
Yes, Steph. Next time I come out, I need a salary.
Properly compensated.
I'm hoping
properly compensated.
If she
Although
goes
more than likely,
Phoenix,
what Carrie will do is she'll just compensate by paying me in books and prints and art. I'm like, okay, I'm happy.
hey, if she comes to Phoenix, maybe she can rub off some of that magic energy. We'll see.
If I can move out to Phoenix, I will. Yep.
Yeah,
I will happily help out. So.
If I can't get there in a pleasant way, I'm not going. I got news for you. I am. I love every con that ever brings us there or takes us out to it has spoiled me fucking rotten. And I'm grateful, and they're all incredible. But my ass is not driving to Washington. I drove to where did I drive?
Boston.
I drove all the way to fucking Boston, and that shit was like 15 hours.
I thought you said
that's
18.
a long ass drive.
Not too long.
Okay, 18. I don't remember. It was years ago now. My ass ain't doing it again. Yeah, that's it. I sit in my little space. I write my fucking funny books.
Right.
And
packs his comics and ships them out. And there you go. Life
that's
is good.
it.
Yep.
I don't have time to do shit. So if it's a show, it's going to be a real good one. So if you guys are going to see us somewhere, know that it's going to be a great show because I don't just go anymore. I used to go to any show that would let me buy a fucking table. We don't do that no more. That's
you gotta be. It's time to be a little more selective.
Yeah, you don't want to get whored out. I don't want that.
And you want to go to shows where you can actually make money too, right? And that's the key thing.
That's not true. I went to a farm today, Mr. Wilson. I went to a farm today, and I spent almost my whole day at that farm. So it was a fun experience.
Justin got out in the real world.
That's it.
Did they make ice cream?
The light.
Right? Look that.
My eyes.
I look like a goddamn vampire.
What is this great big ball of fire in the sky?
It was, whatever. I don't want none of that. We went to, it was Oz's first field trip. So
Oh, okay.
he got to go to one of the larger, yeah, I need to, man. Oh my God. I've been doing it like, oh my gosh, since October, like literally since into October, early November, that has been my life. And I'm grateful. But it's, you got to look at, like, when we do a book now, ever since the fiasco a couple years ago, I go through page by page to every single fucking book that comes out. You know, so every single page I go through every single one of them, and so to pack an order, I can pack about 5 orders in an hour, like from beginning to end. I can pack about 5 an hour. So when you put out, I don't know, 1,400 orders a month,
We need to send Dustin help.
April has offered. Thankfully.
I tried.
She tried.
Mhm.
She did try.
Just
Numerous times. I'm very
Oh,
grateful.
I touched the subject. Okay.
The reason that I had not sent April books yet is because I enjoy signing books.
Only
And
to himself.
I did it to myself, absolutely. And I signed books for free because, you know what? It makes me feel good that people want the book signed. So I sign all the books, and I'll spend hours. And because I sign with paint, I spend hours signing books, and I enjoy it.
They gotta dry.
They have to dry, and it's 15 to 20 minutes for each of them books to dry. So, and then, oh my God, and then you forget you signed it. You forget you signed one of them, and you go to put it in that bag, and that gray fucking streak comes down the bag. You're just like, that was like $6.50 right there.
Mhm.
Like, just out the door. Now I gotta, not only is it $6.50, but now I gotta pay to have it printed again.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh.
Yeah, Dustin's over there sniffing rolls of packing tape.
Just take a wipey and just wipe it off.
No. I don't trust any of that nonsense. That's magic voodoo stuff that I have no experience in.
Dustin has trust issues.
I have a lot of trust issues. Like in that,
we know.
Yeah, a lot of trust issues. I do like the smell of packing tape. Makes me feel good.
There you go. That's right. I like the sound.
I like the smell of old comics, like old ass comics.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the reasons I love my space, because there's a shit ton of gold and silver age books in here. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, every now and then I just go open a bag and I'm like, and then I put it back in its box and I won't open it for 10 more years. You know, mm-hmm. I have a recently smelled box set, and then I have a set of boxes I haven't touched in about 5 to 10 years. That's it. You got to rotate it, because you just got to ruin the smell if you don't, you know.
Otherwise it dissipates and then it loses it. You're like, oh.
It's just shameful.
I'm actually redoing my boxes now for that reason. I'm taking all my long boxes and making them into short boxes.
Man, I got 30 right now that I'm trying. Yeah. That's another thing that you're looking at behind me is 30 boxes, not counting the 200 of my own boxes. These are 30 boxes that I'm setting to get rid of, so I have room in the house for ethereal books. Because, you know, one thing that I hate about ordering from companies is if I order something, they don't have it. And ethereal, I like to keep a running inventory at the house so that people can. They are really heavy, man. I've got 20 stairs that you have to go up and down with them boxes all the time. And I'm like, that's one reason I like doing shit downstairs. Like, I like doing it down. I have this great office to do shit in. But I like doing it at my kitchen table where I can talk to my kids and talk to my wife. And
April, rein it in, girl, rein it in.
She can't help herself.
No, she can't. I know.
She can't help herself. And
it brings out the April laugh, which is all worth it. So
right, it is well worth it. I had her laughing so hard she about peed the other day. So it's all good. Anyway,
my point is about?
No. So there is. You guys have played Cards Against Humanity, right?
Yeah.
So there is a new version out called Cards Against Your Childhood.
Oh no.
That's a drinking game.
I'm afeared.
And I am determined to bring it to Phoenix. I'm going to order it and bring it to Phoenix.
Let's do it.
So it should be a ton of fun. And they have this. So the hotel that we stay at, which is amazing, downstairs is like awesome lounge that's open all night. And we can get a big ass table and sit down there and booze it up and play cards. I'm not hurting my feelings at all. It'll make me feel better after I go get my ass kicked at that fucking poker tournament that we're gonna do. So
yeah,
I get my ass kicked every time though, so it's not gonna be anything new. I'm just like all in.
Well, that's
Okay,
okay.
I'm done.
I play until there's no more buy-ins, and then from there, I intentionally go out.
I have no clue how to play the goddamn game. So
Well, it's because I do the charity raffle for Kids Need to Read, and so I have to finish it. So technically, I'm still working, so I have to go out. It's a good time though, but unfortunately my poker face is my default. Like April's just really crazy face, and so nobody can really read me.
yeah. Well, I don't.
There's something to be said for consistency, right, April?
What?
The whole goddamn table is intimidating. Like the whole table is intimidating. So I'm just like, I'll have a hand of cards. Zaha! Just throw it down. We're going to the river. We're going to the where? What the fuck is the river?
Exactly. Do I need a paddle? Where's my canoe?
Yeah. What the fuck? What is this shit? So I just start putting stuff down. I'm like, yeah, I got 3 of these bitches.
That's right.
Throw them down.
I got 2 of these. The Red Power Ranger with Trip 2s. It was fabulous, but I'd been drinking, so I forgot to be humble.
Let me tell you the most fun thing about drinking with April. Is April likes like Goldschlager from the fucking bottle.
So that is true.
So it's just like, I hadn't drank that
anything
shit
better than Jägermeister.
Since I was like 13 years old, had not had that shit, right? Like that was the shit you would steal from your broke ass buddy's dad's cabinet. I had never, like, since I could remember what it was to drink real alcohol, drank that shit. And she's like, dude, get lit with this. And I'm like,
no, I'm only fuck off, it's mine.
So she pours me a cup of this shit. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know what it was. And I look down and there's gold flecks in it. And I'm like, motherfucker. And it's alcohol, so it doesn't get wasted. But I was just like,
oh no, I felt it the next day. It was a whole bottle.
It was a whole bottle. It wasn't like
a whole bottle. Yeah,
it's like drinking straight Fireball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
Fireball has a weird aftertaste. I don't.
Fireball tastes like asshole too. Like you just down there fucking.
You would know.
That bitch, it's not great. He's down there nom 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 nom, and I'm
haters are gonna hate.
Yeah, dude, haters are gonna hate. You get that aftertaste that tastes like metal in your mouth, and you're just like,
yeah, but I feel fancy.
I think that was the thing for like me and Shawnee, right? Like I think I was trying to play who's soberest during our last convention because it's like the whole time I think it was pretty much lit between the absinthe and the moonshine, in the bourbon and the whiskey. I'm like, what are we drinking today? Everything. Okay. At least we know
I would love to have absinthe at that show.
Oh, it's fucking great. We drank 2 bottles of it.
I would love to have absinthe at Phoenix. I know there's going to be a shit ton of tequila because everybody knows that's what I drink, so it shows up. It just shows up. That's the funniest thing in the world, right? If you've ever worked a con, and you have an alcohol that you drink, I'm going to
just suddenly random bottles just start appearing.
I'm going to use the word loosely because I don't use it for myself, but the fans show up with the alcohol that you drink.
That is true. Mm-hmm.
They show up.
Just like Starbucks.
The friends show up just to shoot the shit and then get you shitty in the evening. And then you're just like, they know you can't go nowhere, right?
Yep.
And
you are captive. We have you.
I talk a lot anyway, So if you want to hear the real stories, you get me shitty down there somewhere I'm not leaving because there's bottles of fucking Jose Cuervo sitting around, and I'm just like, hanging out. Oh my gosh.
I'm hoping to make this work because then I can go and then I get to hear the stories. Don't have to worry about lag time. I don't have to worry about internet. I get the in real life experience.
Well, you get a lot of. We're doing a lot that show this year. We're doing a lot. We've got the poker tournament. We've got a photo shoot Thursday night. We got the poker tournament Friday night or Saturday. We'll probably do a really nice dinner with a bunch of great folks that we work with. At least one night, and the other night we'll probably shoot the shit and play cards. So, we have a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun, even if it's only a couple of us. We have some of the best friends in the industry, and without, not in the industry. It's like, I remember, I love Keith Coker. If you don't know Keith Coker, you need to know Keith Coker. He's an amazing human being, and he's a ride or die motherfucker. Like, as cool as they get, man. And, like, every time I see him, we have the best time. We just have the greatest time. And he comes out to the shows to have a great time. He works with grading companies. He's just a really, really, really good dude. But there's that one night where if you come to a show with us, you get to hang out with the names. You get that one night. You can hang with the names that one night. And it's a blast. It's an absolute blast. Because all our friends are good people, and there's a chance you're going to meet an artist that you've never got to talk to in person or see something really, really cool. I remember, oh my gosh, most of my best stories are with DeBolfo because he's who I've done shows with shit,
Oh, but, Mike is just.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, I love him. Oh, he's great. I love him. He's hysterical.
He's always been really supportive. Not just in the industry, but as my friend before I got into the industry.
He's just good peeps.
Really, really. But it's funny because you gravitate toward the people that you run with. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, there are times, like I said, I almost ran Jeremy Clark over on accident one night.
Oops.
It was an accident, I promise. He was behind my car, and I didn't fucking know it.
That'll do it. Yeah.
I should have known it because he was getting shit out of the back of my car. But
details.
I forgot he was back there. Anyway, so but that was the same weekend I set DeBolfo. Well, DeBolfo set his own hair on fire.
Yes,
which was fun. But it was a really fun show. It wasn't even at a show. It was we were signing books at my store that time. But there's fun times. We'll go out and just have a good time, and that's what it's about. I think as creators, in the fun thing about bringing people with us sometimes is you guys get to see the side that you don't get to see all the time.
Yep.
Like I'm sure Coffin does it the same way. I'm sure they do it the same way. On a much larger scale. I'm sure it's very personal when you go to, the show that Brian puts on and stuff. So, normally most people don't get those experiences.
Yep.
So when you get them, I remember feeling so special getting to hang out with people. And Shawnee about had me in tears the other night. She fucking killed me. Because she knows me. So she'll say things that from the heart, and it really, they get me because she knows me as a person. So it's like we had, I felt like I had imposter syndrome. Like I was so amazed when I would, as a seller, as a store, to get to talk to people and stuff, and the people my friends would introduce me to and stuff like that. But when I got into the industry, I was still like, I felt like a baby in this amazing place. And we grew really quick, so I still felt like I didn't belong for a real long time. And we just signed an individual the other day, and it was an amazing moment. And April facilitated that in an incredible way, and I'm very grateful. But Shawnee was like, "Do you still feel like an imposter?" And I about died.
I said, no, I said, that's going to put a big old dent in your imposter issues.
I literally almost died. Like I had to get off the.
Because I know you. Yep.
Yeah, I was about to fall out. But it's like that. Like like the last time we went to Phoenix, it was Coffin who invited us out to dinner. You know what I mean? And because everybody loves April in Phoenix, and that's a fact.
What's not to love?
If you roll into Phoenix with Ethereal, you are comic book somebody. Let me tell you, not my ass, my big burly ass.
Of the best stories from Phoenix. That is my home base.
It
That's
is April's.
where the most weirdest, bizarre, amazing shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember them making fun of me for doing my commission like at the table at Networks whenever it was called Networks, and Peter Steigerwald's like, "Why are you working?" I'm like, "Cause I'm not as fast as you guys." And he just pulled the paper right off the thing and just walked off, and I'm like, "The fuck, really?" Like, we're not that close. I don't have his note. That was the only piece of paper I had. And after 10 minutes, I was sweating. And I was like, dude, where did he even go?
Oh, no.
Oh, watch my stuff. I'll be back. And I went hunting for him in the bottom of the Hyatt. And there he was in the lobby, like, outside smoking a cigarette doing my commission. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. Peter Steigerwald did like my job. And I was like, this is crazy. So I wound up coloring it, gave it to the lady. And then I drew another one on a smaller piece of paper that I found. And I was like, look, I know you paid me to do it, but this is way better.
That's the life though. Once you start getting into the stuff and seeing the stuff, like when we go to Suncoast, I've been at Suncoast most of the years that they do the show, and every time we do it, the tables are packed for me. You know what I mean? It's a really good show for me, and same thing with MegaCon. When I do MegaCon, it's real good because I'm from Florida. You know what I mean? It's most of the people that know me from there, so when we moved to Tennessee and we started doing these shows, April was like, hey, you got to move out in other directions. You got to, it doesn't matter if you do 3 big shows a year, you're still marketing to the same 3 groups of people at those 3 shows. So as we've done more, it's just been phenomenal. The feedback's been phenomenal. The folks are great. Good. But I'll say this, and to anybody that ever wants to come to see Ethereal at a show, and you can only go to one a year, go to Phoenix. Because it's the most batshit show for us. Because everybody puts on the show. Like, everybody puts on the show.
I'm excited because this will actually be my first time at Phoenix. I mean, I've been to Sworn and Common Fest for Coffin because I got there, but this will be my first time actually going to the Phoenix Con.
This is the biggest show, having done MegaCon, having done, oh my gosh, Comic Con. You know what I mean? This is by far the best comic show I've ever done. Like,
I'm excited.
It's comic centric. I'll put it like that. And
that's a big one.
It's a big deal
because it can be, especially for the bigger shows, it can be really hit or miss. Because sometimes
MegaCon's like that. You go to MegaCon, it's like Artist Alley is right next to all the movie stars and stuff.
Yeah,
it's right down the way, and you're just like you can't pitch because so many people are running through and trying to get past it. And that's
San Diego. Yeah,
I did not enjoy San Diego.
No, and I don't blame you. It's a tough one.
It was cool because we got tickets because we have a store. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't enjoy it. But now I'm trying to get us into New York. Like I applied. I haven't heard anything, but I applied. But going forward, it's like we want to make sure we're everywhere that people would like to see us. But like I said, if you want to see a show and you want to have a real wild time with us, Phoenix is the one. Because It was.
I have noticed that anytime either I have been in the Phoenix area or I have heard stories about the Phoenix area, it's just like a lot of shenanigans and laughter ensued. It's like
It's a lot
I usually
of
just
fun.
I'm like, did that really just happen? Oh my
I'll
god!
say
There's
this
a lot
now.
of great people there,
There
and
really
they're
are.
all very compassionate. It's a tight
Yep.
knit community for indie comics. I
It
mean,
is. It's considering
it's
where it is and what it is.
yeah,
It's amazing what it's like per square inch. The
yeah.
comic world per square inch in Phoenix is just it's
The
holy
art,
crap.
yeah, the art scene in Phoenix is amazing. Whether it's first Fridays or even third Fridays in Mesa, or just the different like 24-hour comic stuff, or
Yep.
the robust amount of brick and mortar stores that do just amazing community outreach things to just give people a safe place to geek, you know?
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
really cool.
I think I think that everybody that goes will enjoy it. Like I said, because
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of lineup that we know or run with, which is abnormal for that show. But I saw a couple folks that we know, and not just that though. It's location too. It's
Yep.
also location because there are bars, there are clubs, there are all kinds of things like within spitting distance of the convention center. So I don't know if you guys have ever partied with like artists or anything. We party hard. Like we party hard.
Just a little bit.
And then go back to the room and work.
And then they work.
Oh yeah.
My ass goes to sleep. April is up till like 4 o'clock in the morning doing commissions, and I'm like, fuck that.
Yep.
You know, but it's a beautiful place. It is the cleanest downtown I've ever seen. Like the cleanest downtown I've ever seen. And it looks like daytime when you're in Phoenix at night. There are so many lights that it looks like daytime. You think that about Vegas. That's not true. Vegas is pretty dark at night.
Yeah.
Unless you're on the
Vegas
strip.
is
If you
scary
walk
in the
strip,
daytime.
it's scary day or night. It's scarier during the day, to be frank.
Yeah.
But like I remember like feeling how like just in awe about how pretty Phoenix was. I remember telling April how clean it was every time that we turned a corner. Because there's no homeless, there's no trash, there's no nothing. It's just real clean. You know, there was construction, yes, but it's clean. Like it's one of those places where like there are certain shows where you're like, man, just stick to this road, don't go over into that road. It's not great. Even down here in Nashville, we used to have Printer's Alley is a lot cleaner than it used to be. But when I was a kid, like 18, 19, and just starting to like venture out into the scene and stuff as a youth, you didn't go to Printer's Alley. That was not something you did. Now you can go in there and there's bars and stuff and honky tonks and whatever else. But and I say that literally speaking, there are honky tonks. You're talking about Nashville. There are honky tonks. So, but
I would be surprised if there wasn't.
Right. That's where all the gentlemen's clubs are, though. They're all in Printer's Alley. And they're all old school gentlemen's clubs. You know what I mean? It's all very much like you have to go down under the buildings to get into the gentlemen's club. It's in a basement. But they were so much fun. But before, it was a place that you can go, especially by yourself. You have like 5, 6 dudes in their early 20s, whatever. You'd go down there to a bar or something. You didn't go by yourself because you weren't leaving with your wallet. Or you weren't leaving with all your fingers, so. Or
you just weren't leaving.
Yeah. And that was in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, so now though, you can go to Printer's Alley and it's like Mardi Gras, it's just, but, there's all kinds of stuff to see and do in Nashville, but this is just another level of, like, you have real alleys in Nashville. You know what I mean? You have real alleys, just like you do in Jacksonville and stuff. You got real fucking alleys. It doesn't feel like that in Phoenix. In Phoenix, it feels like you're walking in a giant outdoor mall with no ceiling. Like, and not a mall that's been vacant for 20 years, like a mall that is like like it was in the 90s. You know, it feels like a real mall. You're walking around, you're like, oh, there's a person. There's a person. It's 2:00 in the fucking morning. And they're just walking past the hot dog or some shit. And it's just like
Orange Julius.
Yeah.
Sorry, flashback.
What was the other? And they have that weird ass fucking hamburger place that's great too. What is that hamburger place, April?
Huh?
What is the weird hamburger place that we just started getting here that's in Phoenix? I don't remember what it's called.
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out Burger.
No more for me.
I had never had that before, and April was like, "You got to eat In-N-Out Burger," and I'm just like, "All right."
No,
if you've never had it, you got to try it at least
once.
once.
They were open. They were halfway decent. It was a really long line. If you're really into the hype, then you got to try it. That's kind of how that went. I don't think it's all that great, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
you know,
I've had better. I've had worse.
For sure.
I have to admit, if I'm, you know, in your guys' opinion, where do you find the best hamburger?
Fuddruckers. Fuddruckers is one of my favorite ones because you get to customize and make it the way you want it, and then they cook it to your perfection.
Yeah.
Are you talking about fast food or like a restaurant?
I'm talking a burger. Like I don't care if it's drive-through or restaurant style. Where do you go?
Okay.
Or what do you think is a pretty good tier for burgers?
We have a place here that, like, oh my gosh, it's like a burger bar, like an actual burger bar. Like, you go in and, oh my gosh, it feels like a place that we wouldn't go when you first walk in there. Like, it's very like new age and stuff, and we're too us to fit in with the crowd that you walk into. And oh my gosh, what is that place called? It's like man, what are those what is that? It's like an IPA bar, right? Like, I hate IPA. Like, I fucking hate IPA. And to those of you who drink it, good on you, because it's less I got to do. Anyway, so it's like an IPA bar, except with burgers. You walk in there, and it's like wall-to-wall shit that they can make on a burger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just absolutely incredible. You know, and it's only like $55 for two people to eat. So it's not much more than going to fast food nowadays. You know what I mean? Okay. So, you know, and it's a really funny experience. It's really clean. At night, they lift the walls actually lift up into the ceiling. And it's really cool because it's all laid out. And, you know, outside is beautiful here because there's only so many lights, you know, so it's dark out here. And it's pretty. And it's fun to eat there. But outside of that, if I was going for fast food, I got to go with like Five Guys.
Yeah, because it's a clever name.
Yeah, I can go with Five Guys for
Five Guys is good.
Like
there's always the iconic Hodads here. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with that.
I've never been to that one, but
yeah, I think it's specific to you know.
Well, you know, there was a place. So I used to surf a lot when I was younger, like a fucking lot.
More than just the web.
Huh?
More than just the web.
Yes, dear. More than just the web. Anyway, so mean ass. I didn't gain weight until I got sick. Thank you.
No, that's not what I meant.
But I used to be out on the beach all the time, and I lived in St. Thomas. I've lived in Hawaii. I have an aunt that lives in San Diego. So I used to go to her house I don't know, every couple summers, you know, and we'd go down there and surf and hang out and stuff like that for a few weeks. And they used to have this place on the beach. As far as I know, San Diego is very different than now than it was in the 90s.
Mhm.
But there used to be this little teeny like burger like cart thing. And
Oh,
it was
yep.
probably the best burger I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
It looked almost like, you know what the little penguin slushy things look like? It
Mhm.
looked like that burgers.
Yep.
And that was the fucking jam. That and
Yeah,
there was
those little ones like that, you can find them because they're literally, I mean, they are the ultimate little mom and pop shops.
they
And
really are.
they're mobile and they go over and usually, yeah, just they are the bomb.
So good.
And sadly, if they can last, they're great, but they come and go so easily because of the transitory nature of them. So
It
yeah.
does suck. There was another place. My mom, when I was a kid, she used to run a string of 17th Street surf shops, and in Virginia Beach, and we used to surf down there a lot too when I was younger. And they used to have the same thing. They'd have, but Virginia Beach has a giant pier, like a really big pier that you can go out on. And I think they closed it years ago. I don't know if they reopened it because I think a car drove down it and the guy killed himself, like drove his car off the end of the pier. But they used to have restaurants, like little teeny burger and hot dog shacks on the pier, and those were great too. But no, the little places where they're really cooking a burger, that's what's up. Now, I tell you what, little place that was amazing, like shit, fucking crazy. It was me and Mel and Mog Park.
Oh,
We were,
yeah, yeah. Well, you're hanging out with true foodies now, so yeah.
So we're sitting there, and I always drive. Well, I used to drive to every show. We'll put it that way. I used to drive to every show, and especially in Florida, you know, because I knew my way from here to there real easy and stuff and whatever. And I've got a house in Orlando that I used to stay at. That's owned by my family, so I used to just crash there whenever there was a show in Orlando. And but what is that guy's name? The really fancy cooking dude. That's really Gordon Ramsay. So
Gordon Ramsay
opened a fish and chips shop the night that MegaCon was on. It was like the first night. And we went, and you couldn't. So it's real fucking weird how it's set up. Like it's set up where you can go in, you order your food, and then they like shit you right out the building. Like you just walk in and you're just fucking out the minute you fucking get your order in. And you can only fit like 10 people in this building waiting in line. And it's wall to wall fucking people in there, right? But when they shit you out, it's not like there's an outside, like with an overhang or anything. There's like these little teeny, I'm a big dude. I've always been a big dude. But there's these little teeny, like umbrella stands that you can sit at. And I'm like, they've all got to be for people that are like 115 pounds to sit in these chairs at each of these things. So it was the first time I'd ever hung out with Mog and Mel. This was years ago. And I don't talk to them enough. They're good people. I just, time gets away from you, you know, but we were sitting there bullshitting, and the food comes out to the window and you have to go get it. They're not like, there's no waitresses or anything, but it's weird because it's on grass. Like you're in grass and everything else is concrete, like around the whole thing. And you're just sitting in this big ass square of grass, like in the middle of fucking nowhere. And, but the food, they only serve fish and chips. That's all that fucking came out of that place. Like it was like $20 for a basket of fish and chips, right? And which isn't terrible, whatever. It's all whitefish, you know what I mean? And so, but it was cool. it was like the first time I'd gone to a little hole in the wall restaurant, which wasn't a hole in the wall restaurant. It was owned by fucking Gordon Ramsay, but it felt like an old school restaurant that you'd find on the island or you'd find, at a beach or something. It was really, really neat. Anyway, I have to pack for this show. So, you guys, it was good to see you all. And I know that, again, I harangued on you because I was trying to get out of here like 45 minutes back. But
We're used to it. It's all good.
it's always fun hanging out with you guys. Anyway, I think that we may be live again next Friday. So we'll see. Here's
Okay.
hope. But anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you guys shortly. I'm digging that thing April's got going there.
I know, it looks good.
Peek around.
My accidental auction stuff. Oh.
Yes.
Oops.